Hi, love, and welcome back to The Mother I Needed, the podcast where we talk about all the things people don't usually say out loud during pregnancy and motherhood: the truth, the triggers, the emotional unraveling, and the rebuilding. Before I dive into today's topic about how my son recently triggered something from my past, I just want to share a little update. I'm now 27 weeks pregnant, and honestly, it's been a journey. The beginning of this pregnancy wasn't easy. It brought up so many old triggers and emotions I didn't even expect to resurface. But I'm doing okay now. I feel like this pregnancy is teaching me so much, not just about motherhood, but about myself. And actually, through all of this, my podcast has become clearer: the direction, the subjects, everything I want to talk about. It's like the more I grow, the more this podcast grows with me. Today, I want to tell you a story about the day that started with good intentions and ended with a very hard mirror being held up in front of me. This is the kind of episode that makes me nervous to share because I didn't show up as myself as my best self, but I also believe that these are the moments that matter most. The moments where healing is possible if we're willing to tell the truth about them. So it started like a normal day. I planned to take my son to the park. I had prepared snacks, water, even packed his favorite yogurt. I had everything ready, but something small set the tone off. My husband told my son, "Be careful," as we were leaving. That one phrase was enough to shift my son's mood. He didn't want to go. He hesitated. He got stuck on something. Then he had to go back and grab water, then something else. Then he decided not to go again. It was little thing after little thing, but inside me, something was building. What started as a minor delay slowly turned into a storm inside me. I started to get sharp, frustrated, criticizing, repeating myself, even threatening. "If you don't come get your water, we're not going. You said you wanted to go to the park. Now you're staying in the pantry." I watched myself spiral. I used logic that didn't land. I expressed anger that came from somewhere way beyond this moment. I even pulled him away from the pantry, which I regretted the moment it happened, because usually I am letting him obviously be free and not pointing any places that he's not allowed to be there. And worst of all, I caught myself almost like sitting down and uh, sort of ignoring everything, and not because I wanted to do that, but because I was hurt. I felt like I do everything for everyone, especially for him. And the phrase was in my mind, like, why can't you just like cooperate now? But later that day, something clicked. I saw exactly what I had recreated from my own childhood. I remembered how every time I tried to do something my own way growing up, even a small thing, someone in my family would overreact, criticize me, get angry, make me feel like I ruined everything. I realized my nervous system equates doing things my way with danger, with punishment, criticism, blame, even rejection. And that belief, it made me overreact when my son tried to do something his way, even something as small as walking into the pantry. I made it mean as something bigger. I took it personally because I had been trained that disobedience equals rejection. And now I was passing it on unintentionally to him. The hard part is that my husband didn't do anything big today. He just said one small sentence, and I let my whole nervous system collapse after that. I used to get mad at him for ruining my day, but the truth is, I am the one who carried the fire forward. Why? Because I've lived most of my life under this emotional formula. If something doesn't go as planned, someone must be blamed. Someone must be punished. It's what I saw. It's what was done to me. It's what I internalized. But now I'm the mother and I get to decide what gets passed on and what ends with me. So later, I sat with my son, I looked him in the eyes and I told him the truth. Mommy was very upset earlier, but that wasn't your fault and you didn't do anything wrong. Mommy loves you always. Even when I get upset, you're allowed to want whatever you want. And I'm sorry I didn't handle it better. And he forgave me because children do forgive when we show up with truth and presence. But even more importantly, I started forgiving myself because this is what breaking generational cycles look like. Not never making a mistake, but having the strength to see it, own it, and repair it. If you've had a moment like this, a moment where you acted from your wound, not your wisdom, you're not alone. And you're not a bad mom. You're a mother in transition, a woman in healing, a cycle breaker in progress. And your child doesn't need to be perfect. They just need you to be present enough to say, I saw what happened and I'm still here, loving you, growing with you. This was a hard episode for me to record, but I know it's one of the most important because when we share our real moments, we give other women permission to stop pretending. I'm not here to teach you how to be perfect mother. I'm here to remind you that you're allowed to be human and still be exactly the mother your child needs. So thank you for listening to the mother I needed, and I'm with you always.